You're not a real man, you're just a walking ATM. My sister's husband laughed as he used my car. Everyone laughed with him. I let out a short laugh myself, nodded and left without another word. 3 days later he was screaming on the phone. I never thought I'd be writing this, but last night changed everything. You know those moments when something small finally breaks the camel's back? Yeah, this wasn't one of those. This was the moment. I watched my brother-in-law, Wyatt, slide into the driver's seat of my brand new Tesla, which I hadn't even given him permission to drive, turned to my sister, Samantha, and loudly announced, "See, I told you Ezra would let me borrow it. He always does. He's not a real man anyway, just a walking ATM." And everyone laughed, my mother Isla, my sister, my cousins, all of them like it was the funniest joke they'd heard all year. Some context, I've always been the successful one in the family, not bragging, just stating facts. While Wyatt jumped from one get-rich-quick scheme to another, I built my career steadily. My sister Samantha, despite her master's degree, chose to support his entrepreneurial spirit instead of pursuing her own path. Over the past 5 years, Wyatt has borrowed my previous car and returned it with a mysterious dent he knew nothing about. Asked for 6 temporary loans totaling $47,000, never repaid. Used my vacation home for his business retreats. Translation parties that resulted in $12,000 worth of damages. Maxed out an emergency credit card I foolishly co-signed for, convinced my mother to refinance her house to invest in his latest venture. Each time it's the same story. "Come on, Ezra, we're family," or "Don't be so uptight. It's just money." My sister's favorite. "You don't even have kids. What else are you spending it on?" But last night was different. It was supposed to be a simple family dinner at my mother's house. I'd driven there in my new Tesla, the first really expensive thing I'd bought for myself in years. I hadn't even shown it to anyone yet, wanting to avoid the inevitable request to just try it out. I was in the kitchen helping Mom when I heard the distinctive sound of my car's door opening. By the time I got outside, Wyatt was already adjusting the seats, with Samantha and the passenger side, both of them grinning like teenagers who'd stolen the keys to Dad's car. "Wyatt, get out of my car, relax, bro. Just taking it for a quick spin to show Sam. You know I've been thinking about getting one myself." That's when he made the ATM comment and they all laughed. I stood there watching my brother-in-law sitting in my $95,000 car that he hadn't even asked to use, making jokes about me being less of a man. While my own family laughed along, something inside me just clicked. I smiled, nodded, walked back inside, grabbed my jacket and called a rideshare. As I left, I heard my mother, "Ezra, where are you going? Don't be so sensitive." I didn't answer. Instead, I spent the next 3 hours making calls and sending emails. By midnight I had reported my car as being used without authorization, contacted my bank about every loan and transaction involving Wyatt, emailed my lawyer about the vacation home damages, changed all my passwords and security codes, frozen the credit card I'd co-signed. This morning I woke up to 47 missed calls and messages. Wyatt was apparently stranded at a charging station because I'd remotely disabled charging access. Samantha was disappointed in my childish behavior. Mom thought I was tearing the family apart, but for the first time in years, I felt light, free, clear. My phone is buzzing again as I type this. It's Wyatt's number. I think I'll let it ring, because here's what they don't understand. I'm not angry, I'm not even hurt anymore. I'm just done, and sometimes being done is the most powerful thing you can be. I have a meeting with my lawyer tomorrow morning. I've documented everything, and I mean everything. They wanted an ATM. Well, this ATM just went permanently out of service. Update 1 first. Thank you all for the overwhelming support on my last post. You were right. I should have done this years ago. Here's what's happened in the last 24 hours. The morning after the ATM incident, I met with my lawyer. I brought everything, every text, email, bank statement and photos of damages to my properties. She just kept shaking her head as she went through it all. The total came to $162,847 in loans, damages, and unauthorized charges. But here's where it gets interesting. While I was in the meeting, Wyatt showed up at my house. My security cameras caught him trying to use his spare key, which I'd already had the locks changed on. He stood there for 20 minutes calling and texting. A few highlights from his messages: "Stop being dramatic. Your sister is crying because of you. Mom says you're acting like a child. Just reset the Tesla access. I need to get to a meeting." I didn't respond to any of it. Instead I was busy with my lawyer drafting formal demand letters for repayment. We also filed reports for the property damage at my vacation home, not pressing charges yet, but establishing a paper trail. Then Mila, my girlfriend, suggested something brilliant. Check my credit report. Turns out there were 3 credit cards I didn't recognize, all maxed out, all opened in the past year, all with my name as a co-signer. Guess who had access to my social security number and personal documents through helping with my taxes last year? That's when things escalated. Around 2 p.m. Samantha started calling everyone in the family. According to my cousin, she was telling people I had lost my mind and was destroying the family over a joke. She conveniently left out the part about the credit cards or the $162,000. My mother, Isla, showed up at my office. She was crying, saying she didn't raise me to be cruel to family. I asked her about the $85,000 second mortgage she took out on her house for Wyatt's investment opportunity. She got quiet, real fast, but he promised it would triple in value. She whispered and you believed him again. She left without another word. By evening the family group chat was on fire. Apparently, I'm heartless, cruel, jealous of Wyatt's potential having a midlife crisis. Need to man up and help family. Then Mila found something else. Were those business retreats at my vacation home? Turns out Wyatt was renting it out on a vacation rental site for 2 years, pocketing the money, using my property to run a business without my knowledge or consent. That's when Wyatt's tone changed. The messages went from angry to panicked. Look, we can work something out. Please don't dig into the vacation home thing. I can explain everything. Just call me back. I didn't. Instead, I froze all joint accounts, cancelled every subscription they had access to, changed all passwords. The fraudulent credit cards had my lawyer draft a complete record of all loans and damages, filed reports about the unauthorized rental of my property. Then I got a text from Samantha that made everything click. How could you do this to us? We're about to close on our dream house. The bank needs to verify our income and assets. Please don't ruin this for us. Ah, so that's what this was about. They needed my financials to look good for their loan application. The Tesla joyride, the ATM comments, all just frustration because I wasn't playing along with their plan. My lawyer says what they were planning to do would constitute mortgage fraud. She's drafting a letter to their loan officer with proof of their actual debts to me, just to ensure accuracy in their application, of course. An hour ago, Wyatt left a voicemail. He was barely coherent, but I made out, you have no idea what you've done, no idea what's going to come out if you keep pushing this. Is that a threat or a confession? Guess we'll find out, because here's the thing, I'm not pushing anything, I'm just finally letting go of the rope. In this tug of war, they're the ones who are falling into the mud of their own making. The security company just alerted me that someone's at my vacation property. The cameras show Wyatt's car update to well turns out, Wyatt's threat about what might come out wasn't just hot air. The last 48 hours have been revealing. When I last posted, Wyatt was at my vacation property. The security cameras showed him removing boxes from the garage. At 11 p.m., I called the police for a trespassing report, but by the time they arrived, he was gone. What he left behind, though, was far more interesting than what he took hidden in the back of a storage cabinet: documents, lots of them, bank statements, loan applications and business proposals, all with my forged signature. But that wasn't even the worst part. There were also documents belonging to 3 other families. Same pattern, borrowed money, forged signatures, elaborate investment opportunities. Wyatt hadn't just been scamming me. He'd been running this game on multiple relatives of other families. He knew I handed everything to my lawyer. He's already contacted the other families involved. The next morning, Samantha showed up at my office not to apologize, no, that would be too simple. She was there to inform me that she'd posted a lengthy truth about my brother's story on social media, called me a vindictive sociopath who was destroying her family out of jealousy. Her post went viral in our extended family circles. Cousins I haven't spoken to in years started calling. But here's the thing about family secrets, once you start airing them, you can't control which ones come to light. My mother's sister called me. Is it true about the vacation home rentals? Yes, then you should know he did the same thing with Uncle Rob's lake house last summer. One phone call led to another. The dominoes started falling. 3 other relatives had loaned him money. He'd used my mother's house as collateral for a private loan. He'd been running unauthorized rentals on 2 other family properties. He'd borrowed and sold family heirlooms, promising to replace them with better ones once his investments matured. Mid-afternoon my mother, Isla, finally called. Her voice was different, quiet, scared. She called. She said about the second mortgage they say the paperwork might be incorrect. You mean forged silence, Mom? I didn't know. She whispered. I really thought he said it was just a formality, that he'd pay it off. Before she started crying for the first time, I didn't feel the need to comfort her. Mila stayed with me through all of this. She was the one who noticed something odd about the timestamps on Wyatt's rental listings. They didn't match his business trip dates. A quick check revealed he'd been renting out my place while simultaneously claiming to be using it himself, double-dipping and pocketing both streams of money. Around 7 p.m., Samantha called. She was hysterical. "What did you do?" "The bank pulled our mortgage approval. They're saying something about a fraud investigation. This was our dream house, Ezra." "How could you?" "I didn't do anything, Sam. Your husband's actions did this. He was trying to build something for us, for our future, by stealing from the family. He said he would fix everything once. What? Once his imaginary investments paid off. Once he scammed enough people." She hung up. Then came the family intervention. They all showed up at my house: Mom, Samantha, 2 uncles and an aunt. They wanted to talk this through as a family, keep it within the family. I let them in, sat them down, played the security camera footage of Wyatt stealing from my garage, showed them the forged documents, the rental listings, the loan application, the evidence of other families he'd scammed, one by one. They got quieter, paler, until finally my mother stood up. "I need to call my bank," she said, then left without another word. The others followed, leaving only Samantha. She sat there staring at the documents. "There has to be an explanation." She kept saying he wouldn't. That's when her phone rang. Wyatt's face lit up on the screen. She answered on speaker, forgetting or not caring that I could hear. "Babe, don't go home," he said, his voice urgent. "They're there, the other families, all of them at our house, with the police." Samantha looked at me, really looked at me, for the first time in years. Then she got up and walked out without a word. "My phone is ringing now, unknown number. The last text from Wyatt just came through. I can explain everything. Just give me one chance please, they're going to take everything. I'm letting it ring, finally update. It's done, all of it. And truth really is stranger than fiction. Remember that unknown number calling me? It wasn't Wyatt, it was another victim's son. Let's call him James." Turns out Wyatt had scammed his elderly parents out of their retirement savings, $230,000. Their entire nest egg gone into Wyatt's foolproof investment opportunity. James had done some digging of his own. He found 5 more families. Same pattern, same promises, same results. All told, Wyatt had taken over $1.2 million from various relatives and family friends. But here's the real kicker: Wyatt wasn't losing this money in failed investments. He was living a double life. He had another house, another family, 2 kids. Samantha didn't know, nobody knew. He'd been maintaining 2 completely separate lives for years, funding both with money stolen from our families. When I got this information, I made sure every single piece of evidence reached the right authorities, every document, every forged signature, every fake business proposal, every recorded conversation. The truth came out on Tuesday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, Wyatt's entire house of cards collapsed. Both of his lives came crashing down simultaneously. His other wife showed up at his and Samantha's house. That's how my sister found out, not from him, not from me, but from the other woman screaming on her front lawn about stolen college funds and empty bank accounts. My mother, Idila, tried one last time to fix things. She called a family meeting at her house. Everyone came, the victims, their families, both wives, even some of Wyatt's former business associates. Wyatt showed up too, still smirking, still confident he could talk his way out. "I can explain everything," he started. "This is all just a big misunderstanding." I stood up, connected my laptop to the TV and played a video. It was from my vacation home security cameras. Footage of him showing potential investors around claiming it was his property. Footage of him pocketing cash payments. Footage of him admitting to another scam victim that this was all a long game. The smirk finally disappeared. By Friday 7 families had pressed charges. The bank had opened a fraud investigation into the mortgage applications. His real estate license was suspended pending investigation. Both houses were being seized. Both wives had filed for divorce. Samantha finally broke her silence. She sent me a text. "I didn't know, I swear I didn't know, but I should have seen it. I'm sorry, too little, too late. My mother lost her house, the one I grew up in, the bank foreclosed due to the fraudulent second mortgage. She's moving in with my aunt next week. I should have listened to you," she said when I helped her pack. I was so busy defending him that I couldn't see what he really was. I didn't respond. Some realizations come too late to matter. The final nail. Remember those boxes Wyatt removed from my vacation home? They contained evidence of an even bigger scheme. He was planning, more fake documents, more forged signatures, a whole new round of scams ready to go. I made sure every investigator got copies. Yesterday Wyatt was arrested. Not for the family scams, those are still being investigated. No, he was arrested for attempting to flee the country with stolen funds. They caught him at the airport with $50,000 in cash and a one-way ticket to a non-extradition country. My ATM had finally shut down permanently. Mila and I are getting married next spring. We're having the ceremony at my vacation home, the same one Wyatt used to scam people, seems fitting. Somehow Samantha won't be invited, neither will my mother. Some bridges once burned should stay ashes. Wyatt's facing up to 15 years. Both his wives are testifying against him. Every family he scammed is filing civil suits. His assets are frozen. His reputation is destroyed. His lies are exposed. In me I'm done being anyone's ATM. The bank is permanently closed.